Thank you everybody for coming today. You have seen the banners of the Year of Italian Culture in the United States coming up, and this is the reason why we're celebrating today the Year of Italian Culture in the United States. In Los Angeles is part of the celebration, so we have had a few events in the past months. We've started, the Ambassador of Italy, Claudio Bisognero, was here for the kickoff in November when we inaugurated the Year of Italian Culture with a beautiful exhibit at the Getty and at the LACMA, the Caravaggio and the Florentine exhibit. Tonight we're going to inaugurate the exhibit at the Getty on Sicily. So we're very excited to do this. But we're very excited, and clearly there's something that could not be missed from this calendar, and it's music. The tradition of Italian classical music is something that we all cherish, and we're very proud to have the LA Opera here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ambassador Claudio Bisognero.
Well, thank you very much for being here today. It's a wonderful day. What can we wish more? It's a beautiful sunny day. We have beautiful flowers in the garden. We have the logo of the Year of Italian Culture, the Italian flag waving in the wind, beautiful cars in the driveway, terrific wine. By the way, my wife, who is from the Marche, she would be very pleased and envious of not being here today with us serving this terrific Italian wine. So let me thank our great Consul General in LA, Giuseppe Perroni, who is doing a fantastic job. We're very proud about the logo that you see here, and this logo will fly into space because we had a big event at the embassy a few days ago celebrating 50 years of collaboration between NASA and the Italian Space Agency in space exploration. It's very solid, it's very important, and I had the great pleasure to deliver the patch reproducing the logo to Major Parmitano, who will fly in May up to the International Space Station. So once again, the logo of the Italian year will fly into space. Cenerentola, Cinderella, a great opera. We are very, very pleased to have it performed here in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Opera. It was written, as you know, by a very young Rossini when he was just 25. But since the moment it was performed, by the way, it was performed for the first time in Rome, in the Teatro Valle, it immediately became an element which took the opera world by the storm, exactly like LA Opera has been doing since its creation. I think LA Opera has quickly become one of the key cultural institutions of this great country. It is truly one of the most active and dynamic and exciting opera houses in the United States, and I would also say in the world. So we are very, very pleased to be able to collaborate with LA Opera for this production. We are very proud about the Italian element, the Italian component of this production. Of course, not only Rossini himself, but also the great artists, singers that are performing with the LA Opera tonight.
Christopher Koch.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you for your kind words. On behalf of our General Director, Placido Domingo, our Music Director, James Conlon, the Chair of our Executive Committee who's with us today, Carol Henry, who was so important in the foundation of this company and in the founding of it, I want to extend our collective thanks to the Ambassador, to the Consul General for hosting this incredible event for us. We've had such a fruitful collaboration over the last couple of years, but especially in this year, the year in which we acknowledge the legacy of the Italian culture in the United States. Of course, this is foundational to the very nature of this company. We're celebrating this year with 4 major works of Italian culture on our stage. We opened the season with Verdi's I Due Foscari. We had the Madama Butterfly. We'll close the season with Tosca. And of course, right now, as everyone has mentioned, we have this wonderful production of La Cenerentola on our stage.
My promises whenever I can. It's not entirely clear to me how spontaneous those promises actually are. They seem to be guided promises or promises, but they are promises, and I will be back once again. It's great to be back, and I'm very pleased to be here within this event because, as I've mentioned so many times in these past few months, 2013 is the year of Italian culture in the United States. And we are so proud to be showcasing so many events, 200 events, 50 American cities, 80 American museums, university, concert halls, and institutions. And frankly, what's happening in Los Angeles, we see as developing into truly one of the main pillars of this gigantic organization we are putting together for 2015, the year of Italian culture. There are so many initiatives spanning all the way from classical art to Renaissance art to Caravaggio and to the modernity that we see tonight here at the Cultural Institute. And I think what we are seeing here is a true example of the way in which Italian culture is a fantastic combination of our great artistic and cultural heritage, but also with an element of modernity, of creativity, of innovation. I think that you can see it very, very clearly in this fantastic exhibition here today. The Italian cultural tradition also draws a lot from the beautiful Italian landscapes, and I think that someone like Salvatore Emblema, really, you can see by the striking colors of his work, draws that kind of inspiration also from the beautiful sceneries of the Vesuvian landscapes on which he originated, where he actually lived. And by the way, if you travel to Pompeii in Italy, I'm sure you will find those same colors, that same beautiful light in what you will see out there. But at the same time, I think what Emblema does also shows a great curiosity and openness to new inputs, including his interaction with the United States, which was just described to us a few moments ago. And obviously what you see in these beautiful paintings, to my mind, is also how strong the relationship that he developed with Marc Rocco was. I think there is a striking influence that probably played two ways between these two great actors. So we also see in the artists, not actors, obviously. What you see here, so therefore, is also another element of this great cultural interchange that has developed between Italy and the United States throughout the years. The way in which American culture and the art world looks at the great Italian tradition for inspiration, but also the way in which Italian artists look at the United States for this element of modernity. So let me congratulate some people who were really instrumental in making this great success possible. And before I do that, I'm really thrilled because yes, I do try to keep my promises, but I also see that those subtle hints that I give in my visits are very well put into practice. For those of you who were in this room a few months ago when I inaugurated the other exhibition, the jewelries, I did make an observation about the small size of that Italian logo, and you see the results now. So thank you to our great director for not only his spectacular work here in
in Los Angeles as director of the Institute, but also in translating those not so subtle hints from the Ambassador into a great reality. So I would like to congratulate him. I would also like to congratulate Peter Frank and the other curators of this exhibition. They really put together a wonderful show, and I think it really captures the beauty of the space also inside this particular building. It's an important building as far as LA is concerned. You do know that it was designed by a very prominent modern architect, Alexander, who was a partner of the great Richard Nushaw. And let me conclude by just two quick comments. First of all, I'm thrilled by the presence here of the Emblema family. I had the great pleasure in the few moments before we entered this room to be shown the exhibition by the grandson of Emblema, who really has a fantastic insight about what this exhibition is all about, and this element of transparency, which happens to be the title of the exhibition, obviously, but this element of transparency really came very clearly through what he told me about the meaning and the reason and the thinking about these beautiful works of art. So when you do visit the exhibition again, do try to look at it through the prism of this element of transparency. Transparency also means light. I think the light of the coast of Naples is important, is, if you allow me, emblematic, as is emblematic the light in this beautiful city of Los Angeles. And finally, once again, to thank the Cultural Institute. I was thrilled to see that the beautiful book on Italy in LA art, which was distributed last time I came, is now being transformed into not only an internet site, a digital platform, soon apps for iPhones and other tablets. I think it's a striking way to reach out to the general public. We must be very, very careful when we do these things. And you mentioned the 200 events we're doing. We must be careful not to always reach to the same community. We must be careful and skillful enough to reach out to a wider audience. And frankly, I'm thinking in particular of the younger elements of our society. They are as curious about beauty and art as we are, so we must be able to reach out to them. We try to do that in Washington, D.C., let me tell you how. We have done a number of exhibitions, obviously, National Gallery, Opera, Kennedy Center, that's normal. But we also reached out to the public through the Washington Metro, and in particular through some panels that we are putting on the buses and subway cars of Washington, and they are beautiful photographs of Italy by major Italian photographers, and tiny one-verse, two-verse poems, Italian poems, translated into English. Some of you do know L'Illumino d'Immenso, which is a three-word poem. It's a spectacular poem. It's rarely translatable into English, but that's what we're trying to do. So we try to reach out to the public that would not normally go to a museum, would not normally go to an opera house, but does take a bus, and does take a subway. So that's a way for us to reach out to a wider public. And I think what the Cultural Institute has done and is doing with this new application will hopefully allow to reach out to a wider audience, including a young audience, allow them to discover how many beautiful things coming from Italy are in this great city of LA. And so maybe it's encouraging for them to go and visit those beautiful places which do exist. So let me once again thank you for being here. As you can see, once again, tradition and innovation is in the DNA of what we're trying to do. I'm sure it is in the DNA of Emblema, who drew so much from a great tradition, but added so much creativity and innovation to his art. Thank you for your presence.